Well, hello there, friends. Everybody's been asking me, see, why do we buy? What do we need in the kitchen? Well, we need a lot of stuff, but I'm going to tell you today the essentials, the thing you really should do, okay? You really should have in a kitchen. So I'm going to start talking about the equipment that I use the most often. And you know, I got drawers full of stuff. Sometimes I use them once a year, sometimes I use them every other year. Those you don't need unless you're going to make something special. You know, like a mandolin or some stuff. You really need it only for certain things. But some of the stuff I'm going to talk about today, you could need it every day. You could use it every day. All right, friends? So let's talk a little bit about it. I got a few right here on my cutting board. I got an immersion blender. That's a must, my friend. Oh, mommy, stay here, you. An immersion blender, that's a must-have for certain, for soup and sauces and all that. And whisk, look at this. What's the difference between those two? Let's see how many of you know. What's the difference between this one and this one? This is a regular whisk, misting whisk, and this is a balloon whisk. Balloon. Think of balloon as pumping air into things. Like if you want to make an egg white, you want to make a whipped cream, balloon whisk. There you take a quart of whipped cream, you whip it with this, and you take a tog of whipped cream, you whip it with this. Half the time with this guy, balloon whisk. Potato masher, potato ricer. You make a mashed potato with this instead of with this. Let me tell you, this is going to be nice and smooth and silky and buttery without even putting the butter. Now when you put the butter, then it really is buttery. So potato ricer, very important. I like this one because it's big, and plus you can take it apart. You see, to wash it, boom, you wash it, it's very simple. So potato ricer, potato smasher, you all got one of those. I use those when I make a tomato sauce, and I don't want to puree the tomato sauce. I want to smash the tomato or the cranberries or things. I use that a lot also. It's the meat pounder. You got to have a meat pounder. I see everybody pounding with a bottle or pounding with a, mamma mia, this is like, you don't cost nothing. And if you buy one of those, make sure it's a heavy one. And 99% of the time, you only use the flat side, friends. You're not going to use this. This is good for raccoon or possums, or roadkill. If you got to use this, I don't want to eat it, okay? Now, it's so good. We use it for alligators, crocodiles. We don't have crocodiles. We have alligator in Florida. Microplane graters, really important. There's two types, okay? There's a fine one for the citrus, and there is a coarse one for the chocolate and Parmigiano Reggiano and ginger and stuff like that. And there is strainers. You got double mesh strainers and single mesh strainers. I don't know if you can see the difference, but this is double mesh, this is single mesh. Very important for different straining. You want a sauce to be really smooth. You take one of those. And you want to strain things rough. You don't really care about how smooth it is. I don't know why, but once in a while, you take a single mesh. Now, I put those things first, friends. What do you think they have in common? Let me see how many cooks there is out there. What do you think these have in common? The reason why they're so important, friends, because they're going to change the texture of things. And remember, the texture is a conductor of flavor. So very important to concentrate on texture. That's why those tools are important. Let's put them aside, because I got so many more things to show you, my friends. So let's put those guys aside. Okay, I put them here. Now let's talk about, this one too. We can take this aside, right there. And knife. I already made a video on the right knife to do. For those of you that didn't see it, I'll make it quick, okay? This is a honing tool, very important to have. It's a steel, it's not a sharpener, it's a honing tool. I still have to make that video on how to sharpen the knife, and I'm doing it. So maybe by the time we do this video, in the next few weeks after that, the video on how to sharpen the knife is gonna come. Chef's knife, very important. This is probably the most important tools in the kitchen. You'll use that the most. And we have those back, those are fabulous. This is a offset deli slicer by Wusthof. It's an amazing knife. It replaces the serrated knife. When I did the video on the knife, they didn't have any more, so I didn't talk about it because I didn't want you to be looking for it, but they got them back. This is an offset deli slicer. This is so many of my friends' favorite knife. I give it to them with a Christmas gift, and they go, wow, that knife you gave us is one of the favorite knives. I absolutely love it. Boning knife, must have it to clean chicken, to clean beef, and paring knife. So you really, 5 knife, You can do a lot with 5-9. Now, I know I got a drawer full of it, and I use a lot of them, but you don't need more than 5-9, okay? When you become a really, really, really good cook, then you get more. Don't forget also, friends, to get a scissors. A scissors, then you can cut things with, and you can wash them. You see, they take them apart. Very important, okay? Then, measuring cups. You're going to say, well, I got one measuring cup. This is for wet. This is for dry. Very important, you do both of them, okay? Because it's much easier to use both of them. So we're not going to talk too much about that. Scale, most important. A lot of recipes today are in grams or milliliters. This is going to help you to do it. So a good scale is very important. And this is a quick introduction. Spatula, my friend. Make sure you get them, not rubber, silicone. Silicone can take a lot of heat. And one of the most important tools, my friends, scraper. Very important you get a scraper, okay? You know what I do? I keep it right here underneath my cutting board, you see? I hope the camera can catch it how I do it. Let me put this out of here. Look, you see? I put them right here. Why is it good like that? Cutting board. Get the biggest cutting board you can get, my friends. Because it's so much more fun, so much more enjoyable to cook with a big cutting board. And you hear a lot of people tell you, put a wet towel underneath. Don't do that. Don't put a wet towel underneath your cutting board, my friends. Because wet is the enemy of this guy. We don't want to leave water here at all time. You get one of those guys. You see, you get those you put in the bottom of your drawers, and you get those everywhere. Everywhere you got to. They cost nothing. They come in a roll. You put them in here like this, and look, you see, look, boom, boom. You see, it doesn't move. When you get a cutting board, friends, there's two sides usually to a cutting board, a flat side and one of those sides. The one with the draining thing. This is great when you're doing a roast, when you're doing a chicken, when you got a lot of juice. Because if you have one of those, if you do this and you have a lot of juice, you know where the juice is going to go, right? All over your kitchen, all over your counter. And this way, it'll go right in that channel right there. So it's important when you get a cutting board, make sure you got it. And then treat them correctly, my friends. Don't forget to sanitize them, and also don't forget to put some wood oil in it. I forgot the name of it. It's I forgot the name. I forget things these days. Mineral oil. Don't be putting some olive oil in there. I see a lot of people, they put cooking oil in there. Oh, don't do that. Mineral oil, okay? And you should do it at least 2 or 3 times a year. All right? And now, friends, let's talk about the pots. There's so many pots you can get there. One recommendation, if I may, friends, if you're going to buy stainless steel, which you really should have stainless steel because it's the best cookware to have is stainless steel. It really, really is. It's easy to clean. It doesn't interfere with the flavor of the food. Aluminum, not so good. Aluminum, I don't like aluminum. But let's not talk about that. If you want to get a pot, my friends, you want to make sure you get at least a 3-ply. Those are 7-ply. Those are fantastic. But 3 to 5-ply at least, my friends. I know they're more expensive, but they will last you a lifetime. I promise you they will last you a lifetime. This pot right there you're looking at is at least 25, 30 years old. They all are 25, 30 years old. And they're brand new. You're going to say, well, how do you keep them clean? You know what I do? Every time I clean them, every time I use them, I clean and I make sure I'm everywhere and I Ajax it. And I Ajax it or Comet. Don't worry about them. So you're going to squash them. Big deal if you squash them. You know, they're cooking. They're not like, they're not a piece of art you're putting somewhere. They're cooking tools. And look, after a while, they don't shine anymore, but they look really cool. So this is a regular saucepan. This is a reduction saucepan. I use it all the time. If you can afford the 2 of them, fabulous. And a good stainless steel fry pan, my friend. You got to get a good stainless steel fry pan. This one's got to be 35 years old. I use it all the time to cook a steak in it, to cook a chicken in it. It's fabulous. Cast iron pan, they're wonderful. And you can have different sizes. They're not expensive. We're going to do a video on how to keep them clean. Because if you don't take care of them properly, they're going to rust on you. We'll do a video on that. Non-stick cookware. A lot of controversy about non-stick cookware. Some people don't like it because they release some Teflon stem. Those are not Teflon. I love them. It's a brand, and I've used it for a long time. It's called Wool. And I think it's made in Germany. I'm not sure. I think it's Germany or Belgium. And they're fabulous. So you need a non-stick, for your fish, for your eggs, for delicate things, then stick usually to those pans. So it's up to you, but I like it. Cast iron, Oh, cast iron. You got to have a good cast iron, friend. And this pot you're looking at right here, it has to be 40 years old. 40, 50 years old maybe. And it's a fabulous pot. You can't hurt them. You can't hurt them. And again, I do the same thing. I clean them with Ajax. If it sticks in the bottom, this is not non-stick. This is enamel cast iron. More I use it, softer it gets. So don't be afraid to scrub them and scrub them. The reason why I like the Stab, this is Stab, it's called Stab, the brand. Eh? And the reason why I like those, my friend, is because they got those little nipples right here. And you wonder, what are these nipples for? They redistribute the moisture. So when you're making a stew, and you're cooking it in the oven and you lift it up, you'll see it's all wet in here. It redistributes the moisture evenly on top of it. So it's really important, otherwise all the water or the liquid is going to be in here and it goes on the side. But this redistributes correctly. It's the only one that has that, I believe, the Stab. So it's a great pot. If you got, they're expensive, but they're one in your lifetime purchase. Okay, you buy one of those, you never have to buy them again. What else do we need, friends? And like I said, I'm skipping a lot of stuff, but these are the essential. If you can afford them, they're wonderful. Silicone brush, my friends. Silicone brush. Are we okay with the camera here, Jack? You good? Silicone brush. This is amazing, by the way. This a few years ago at the Houseware Chicago show, like 5, 6, 10 years ago. I don't remember. They won the Gadget of the Year. This is a fabulous brush for barbecue. It picks you up like a quarter cup of sauce. You put it in. It's wonderful. And I always buy my brush silicone. When I see people cooking with a painting brush, mamma mia, those are plastic. Or nylon or something, so they're going to melt. If you want a nice little aftertaste of nylon in your food, maybe, but otherwise silicone, okay, 500, 600 degrees. Tongue, we know we got to get tongue, okay, and those are the must have. I love those because they close like that. Oop, they close. Those are really good tongue. Wooden spoon, eh? I got a whole collection of wooden spoon. They're great in the bottom of a pot. I love them. They're wonderful. Thermometer, friends. Okay, thermometer. Oh, you know, I forgot one kind of thermometer, also the oven thermometers. I forgot to take this one out where there is the little box right there. I'll tell you what I'm going to do, friends. I'm going to go real quick and I'm going to go get it because it's a must for you, Have. Friends, this is it's so important one, and I can't believe I forgot to put it in. You're going to say, what do I need 3 thermometers for? Well, you don't really need 3 thermometers, but you need one of those. This is very important. You're doing a roast. You're doing a turkey, you're doing a chicken, you put this in the chicken, this in the roast, this in whatever it is you have, and you tell the thermometer, okay, tell me when it's 120 degrees, so I can go do my business in the house, and it'll tell me. And 120 degrees, beep, 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 you check it out, and you take it out, and you don't worry about it. It's wonderful. I love it. And so you put this in the turkey, or whatever, the roast, whatever you do, is you put this on the outside, and don't worry about the wire. It's made to go in the oven. Eh? You put this on the outside of your oven. I say that carefully because somebody put it in the oven. This is not for the oven. This is for the outside of the oven. You'd be surprised. So we have it right there. Instant read thermometer. There's many instant read thermometer, okay? And as I tell all the time, you know, you can buy one of those for $20, or you can buy a fancy one for $100. And what's the difference between the two of them? This one is faster. So I always tell that because it's true, it's faster. Is it better? No, I promise you. You hold both of them in your hand and you read and you go, well, I'll be surprised. Exactly the same rating on both of them. You see? This one says 90, this one says 88. I guess not exactly the same. But I have to put them at the same place. But this one goes faster. 3 seconds you get a reading. This one, 10 seconds you get a rating. So if you have an extra 3 seconds to spare, you save $70, $80. It's up to you. They both works the same. Instant read thermometer. Really important. You want to know the temperature of the oil, temperature of your butter, temperature of your pan. You check it out. It should be 365 before you put the oil in there. Okay? Right? So digital thermometer, very important. I love those. They're not expensive. And this brand is fantastic because it reads the oil temperature. Not all of them read through the oil temperature. So it's very important. All right? Another quick thing, and then I'm almost done, my friends. Cookie sheets. You need a lot of cookie sheets. I love them. You can have them. And also make sure if you're going to get one day, you got to get one where you can put a rack on it. So you can put the rack on it. So when you take something out of the oven, you don't want it to get soggy in the bottom, you put it on a rack. Or when you're doing meat, when you're putting your New York strip in the refrigerator for overnight, so you get a nice crust the next day, you put them on a rack like this, so there's air then circulate. Get different size cookie sheet. And then to finish, that's it, my friends. I know there is a lot more. But I wanted to make a quick little introduction because so many of you have asked me, what do we need in the kitchen? Do you need all of it? No, but start with a few of them. And remember, whatever you buy, my friends, buy quality. They last you a lifetime, I promise you. You buy an inexpensive pot, an expensive fry pan, what happened? 2 years later, 3 years later, they warp, they attach, they're not the same quality, they don't work the same. Good quality pot will last you a lifetime. My friends, if you want more information, remember to write a comment and we'll be happy to answer it. Thanks for watching, and I hope you enjoyed the video.